Discussed these halachas quite a number of times. I'd like to share one thought that the Rebbe discussed at the Siyum HoRambam on Yud Shvat, Tavshin Mem Zayin, Yud Shvat 1987. At that time, it was the Siyum, the conclusion of the third cycle of Rambam. It's a very unique answer, different than all the rest of the Meforshim that deal with these dilemmas. And the Rebbe says like this: there is no machlekes, or there can be machlekes in Metzius. There can be machlekes in reality of when Eliyahu will come, or what his function is. Narvos. We understand, every single one of us has certain functions. As parents, as a spouse, as certain jobs that we hold. We might also do other work, engage in other activities. The fact that we engage in other activities, is that considered part of us being a parent, or part of us being a teacher, or whatever it is, the type of work that we're in? A person could do different things that don't necessarily pertain to his work, to this particular position. And so too it is with regards to Eliyahu's arrival and the functions of Eliyahu. Kulam Eidim, that Eliyahu will do many, many things. As we know that Eliyahu already did many things. We know the different stories in Novi, different stories in Gemara, even after Shalom Basara Shemaima. There are many stories of what Eliyahu did. But these activities, these actions that Eliyahu took, was not part of his function of being the Mevasar HaGeula, was not part of his function of what Malachi speaks about, that Eliyahu was supposed to arrive before the coming of Mashiach. And this then becomes a machlekes of the Chachamim. Everybody agrees that Eliyahu will be there before Magog and Magog, not just theoretically or spiritually, but practically in this world. And he will serve particular functions, he will do certain activities, as the Navi points out. But machlekes is this part of the function of what Eliyahu was supposed to do or not? And these are the different positions in the Mishnayos. So the machlekes is not whether he will be Mitayr or Mitame. He definitely will do that. But that is not the purpose, that is not the function of Eliyahu. He will definitely be there before Gog and Magog. But that's not, according to the other Chachamim, that's not what the function of Eliyahu is. When does Eliyahu start his function? According to the Chachamim, just before the arrival, the Gilui of Melech HaMashiach. And therefore, it's not a machlekes and metzias. There's no disagreement over here in reality. Practically speaking, everybody agrees. The question is just, when does the function of Eliyahu start? And therefore also, the Rambam doesn't say that Eliyahu will not say this one is Torah, this one is Torah, because in fact he will. And therefore he uses a lashon. He's particular with his wording that einay ba. He doesn't come for this purpose. He has a different purpose. This explains this halacha of the Rambam. What does this mean? What do we walk away with? The Rebbe says in a number of places that there are many people that had Gili Eliyahu without them even knowing about it. The Rebbe quotes the Gemaras, the Rebbe quotes a number of times, the Rebbe quotes the Frierdiker Rebbe, that it's very possible for people to have Gili Eliyahu without them even knowing about it. One of the places that the Rebbe quotes it, the Rebbe speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu. We'll read it in a couple of parshas, that when Moshe Rabbeinu came down the mountain the second time, he didn't know that he had this shine coming from him. In other words, that a person could feel something, could achieve something, could accomplish something without him even knowing that he's experiencing this. And the Rebbe goes on to say that when a person reveals his neshama, reveals the essence of his neshama, not just is this a gili Eliyahu, but it's even a greater Gili than Eliyahu. When we study Torah, when we daven, when we partake in doing a mitzvah, this is all Geula. These are small steps of Geula. When a person reveals his neshama, he has a great revelation, even if he doesn't know about it, and even if he can't put his finger on the type of revelation that he received. But this is something that is given to a Yid, and especially when he works for it, and especially when he challenges himself to reach greater heights. But ultimately, all these little steps of Geula, these little revelations that we might receive, as wonderful as they are, this is not that which we've been waiting for, but we wait for the arrival of the Geula, the complete revelation. May it happen now with the coming of Mashiach, mamash now.
For the inspiring words of Rabbi Jacobson. The Rebbe explained that the primary two reasons for the study of Rambam is first, Achdus Klal Yisrael, strengthening the entire Jewish community, the collective of Jewish people as a whole. Then there is an individual contribution to each and every person individually, because there is a chiyuv of a person to finish the entire Tayag mitzvahs and Kol HaTorah Kolo, and the only way to do it in a practical way is to cover the Rambam. Yesterday we have read in the morning and in the afternoon two parts which speaking about Tumo. In the morning yesterday we read Parsha Shkolim, which speaks about a Tumo that Heoshil lo yarbe v'hada lo yami, identical amount of contribution, no matter the financial situation where a person is. Then in the afternoon we started to read Parshas Tumo, Zohov, Kesef, Unechoishes, Ish Kefinit Bas Libo, each and every person not only according to his financial situation, but also according to Nidvas Liboy, to his inspiration at that particular moment. How is it possible to reconcile at the same time two contradictory directions by Tumas? So the Rebbe explains that in fact the Tumas Ho'adonim, the foundations, were such a Tuma contribution that needed to be identical to everybody. The Esoid, which gathers Klal Yisrael, is the same amount, Heoshil lo yarbe v'hada lo yami. But then it doesn't end over there. A person needs individually to grow, to prosper, and we know that Oshir Shehi V'Korbanoni lo yotzo, if an individual is capable to go and accomplish a lot, and he accomplishes a little, lo yotzo. We have the privilege with us to have the spiritual leader and the Rov of Agudas Yisrael, which exemplifies Take, on one hand strengthening community, Letiferes, and at the same time encouraging and strengthening individuals' abilities and skills and talents to go to the utmost. So therefore we have the honor to fulfill the Maskifin Siyum Le'atcholo, to have Rabbi Mordechai, Rabbi Goyen of Mordechai Loi Shlita, to share with us words of wisdom in the beginning of the Rambam.
Just my Dasher Shlita, Karen Dovchayzit Shlita, just Secretary of the Rebbe Siyum HoRambam, someone who was honored in the Shamish many years, and I was zeichel to go and to the Fabrengens, and he saw he was mamish like Yeshua, very much with the Chahalai. So Rabbeinu was HaRambam, he was always there, and I'm going to Runner, Shlita, and just all the Rabbanim, Ainu, and the whole island. It's really a privilege And I'm humbled to be able to stand and be part of this massive team of tens of thousands of people all over the world learning the Rambam, starting the 32nd cycle, the lave, the heart of the seed of the Rambam. You learn the Rambam, you start the Rambam, you learn the Akdama. The Akdama of the Rambam, the preface of the Rambam, is also halachas of the Rambam. And the Rambam explains why he wrote the Sefer, what the purpose of the Sefer Hayad is. It starts off that the Kol HaMitzvahs, all the mitzvahs that were given through Moshe Rabbeinu, Nitna, in Perushel, were given with the explanation. Everything was given, the Torah was given, the Torah Shebiksav, and the Torah Shebal Peh that explains everything, and he continues, he goes through what all the Perushim, he goes through the 40 generations from Moshe Rabbeinu till Rabashi, who made the Gemara. Then he says, and after that, after the Siyum HaGemara, there were the Goinim, and there was new Mishpatim, new Dinim, new things, and to understand everything. So that's why he came and made the Rambam, to be able to learn Kol HaTorah Kula, to be able to learn in an easy way Kol HaTorah Kula. And he says you don't need any other Sefer but Torah Shebal Peh. If you want to learn Torah Shebal Peh, just learn the Sefer, and that's enough. And that's why he wrote the Sefer, so everyone should be able to learn Torah. You learn the Torah Shebiksav. In Perushel, you learn the Torah Shebal Peh. Learning the Rambam, you'll be able to learn the whole Torah Shebal Peh. So the Rebbe we saw before said that people had questions on people learning the Rambam. How could you pass them from the Rambam? How could you learn the Rambam? And the emes is the Raibad, who always asks kashas, asks the same kasha on the Rambam. And when the Rambam says that I made now a parish, that no one, you don't need any other parish, you have everything there, it says Tikein v'loy Tikein. He argues on the Rambam. He says, what did he do over here? He says, Adrab, he should have gone in the way of all those before him, who explained why every svara, and explained everything by just writing dry halachas. No one knows why he's saying it, no one knows who is saying it, no one knows, maybe there's a svara to argue on it, and the Raibad says at the end he doesn't understand the Rambam, he feels that it was the wrong thing of the Rambam to write the Sefer. That's the Raibad asking this question. So what's the answer in the Rambam? Every question of the Raibad, there's an answer, and the answer, the old Achrayim always tried to understand what the Rambam wanted to explain over here. And the emes is, the Makar of the Rambam is a pasuk in last week's parsha, and that's what the Rambam starts off the whole Rambam. I'll give you the luchas zev ba'torah ba'mitzvah asher kasafti loy roisam. So the Gemara and Brachas Daf says luchas 7. That's a series of dibros. HaTorah, so it's a mikra, and mitzvah is a mishnah. Asher kasafti, that's nach. Loy roisam is a Gemara. So the Makar of the Rambam, where the Rambam says Torah mitzvah, Torah is Torah Shebiksav, and mitzvah is Torah Shebal Peh, is this Gemara. The Torah is Torah Shebiksav, the Mikra, and mitzvah is Torah Shebal Peh, that's Mishnah. And the halach is, the Gemara says in Soita, that anyone who paskins from Mishnah is Mevalei Olam. Not allowed to paskin from Mishnah. You only, and that's what the Gemara says, Loiroisa Mela gives that Gemara. So Rashi, why is the Gemara the Loiroisa? Because you're not allowed to paskin for Mishnah. For Mishnah, you're not allowed to paskin. If you want to paskin, you have to learn Gemara. You can't paskin for Mishnah. Mishnah, you're not allowed to paskin from. Mishnah is there, Rebbeinu HaKadosh wrote the Mishnah to learn the Mishnah, but someone who paskins from the Mishnah's Mevalei Olam is destroying the world. If you want to paskin, you have to learn the Gemara, Kamei HaMishnayos, to know why the Mishnah is saying it. Means you're learning the Mishnah, Rebbeinu HaKadosh, Rebbe wrote the Mishnah to be able to learn the whole Torah Shebal Peh, but to know that don't paskin from this. If you want to go paskin, go learn Gemara. You have to learn Gemara. Just, I want you to learn this to know the main inyanim of Torah Shebal Peh. The Rambam, interesting, calls the Sefer also Mishnah Torah. Says Mishnah, don't paskin from this. And that's what you heard before. Don't paskin from this. I'm writing the Sefer for you to learn Kol HaTorah Kula. But no, if you want to paskin, ask Gedolim. Learn the Gemara. Ask the Gemara if you want to paskin. And from the same pasuk that says HaTorah VaMitzvah tells you don't paskin from Mishnah. You have to paskin only Gemara. If you want to paskin, you have to learn Gemara. So the Rebbe was misakin the learning of the Rambam, not that you should paskin from the Rambam. That's what he said. The Rebbe said that you should learn to every child and every person should know Kol HaTorah Kula. But no, you have to learn Gemara. No, you have to learn Shulchan Aruch. No, that you have to learn if you want to know how to paskin. You have to learn and to know and understand. Because the Mishnah, when he's writing why he wrote his parish on the Rambam. So he writes the reason he wrote the parish on the Rambam is the same reason that there's a Gemara on the Mishnah. We have the Rambam is the Mishnah. But if you want to understand, and he said, if you want to understand the Mishnah, the reason because the Mishnah, everyone thinks it's money the Mishnah, it's Kaisei. He wants the Mishnah. And that's why when Harav is on the Rambam, what's will the Rambam? You have to understand the Rambam. The Rambam wants you to learn all these things, but he wants you to, if you want to understand it, you have to, so the Rambam, so the Mishnah, he wants to remember the right of Skashka. Why did the Rambam write this? He said the Rambam wrote this for the Echod, the one who wants to paskin Zikr has to go and to be able to know the Tami, to know the reasons and to argue what's the swear of the Rambam, and maybe there's argue on the Rambam. But he wants everyone, so you should know that this is, when you're learning the Rambam, you're learning to know Kol HaTorah Kula. A few years ago, a child calls me up at a shayla that he just was learning the Rambam, and he said he never understood. He said his parents just planted a vine in the backyard, and he said they started taking grapes. He said, I just learned as halachas of Orla. So where did I learn? He said, I was learning the halacha yomis of the Rambam, and we learned halachas of Orla. And he said, I never knew this thing as Orla. He came to his parents, he said, you know, Tati, Mami, you're not allowed to eat those grapes. You're not allowed to eat those grapes. It's Orla. It's Orla. And the parents called, and he called me up to know, you know, what are these halachas? And the same thing, just to know, I have to have a yediyah. And there's so many halachas going through every halacha in the Rambam. Is to the Zikr, the Rambam is the Mishnah. And it's a Mishnah Torah. It's a Mishnah, it's a mitzvah. But with that, the Hairais, you need the Gemara. You need the Gemara, you have to learn with the Rambam. Zikr, the Rebbe want you should learn the Rambam, but want you to learn the Gemara, want you to learn Shulchan Aruch, want to learn to understand. But just to have a Yediyah and Kol HaTorah, you're learning the Rambam. But the Rambam is not the end of it. The Rambam is just to know the Torah Sheba'al Peh. But knowing Torah Sheba'al Peh, to go paskin and to know how to halacha daf mefregen, you have to learn with someone and be oisig in the halacha and understand the halacha. When the Gemara says that the Rabbeinu Kulam not the Moshe Messinai, everything was given to Moshe Messinai. Everything, the Gemara, everything was given to Moshe Messinai. And the lashon of the Gemara in Megillah, which is negated now to Purim, the Gemara says that Savta Aleim, that Yisrael Kol HaShivarti Behar. It says, the Gemara says, the Duke Torah, the Duke Seifrim, Bafilim Asher Seifrim Asidim L'Chadesh, Mikra Megillah. That everything was said to Moshe Rabbeinu, even Mikra Megillah. So how do we understand it? So Moshe Rabbeinu got the mitzvah of Mikra Megillah as Min HaTorah. It's the halacha of Moshe Messinai. That Moshe Rabbeinu got already the halacha of Mikra. That's what Gemara says. Even the Moshe Rabbeinu was given even the Masher Seifrim Asidim L'Chadesh. So Mikra Megillah was given to Moshe Rabbeinu, so Megillah is the Raisa, and the Rambam says, oh, Zikr Megillah is in Divrei Soifrim, like the Gemara's Lashon, Tkonas HaNeviim, so Tkonas HaNeviim. And it's more shver on the Yerushalmi in Peah, and Yerushalmi Megillah says, Afilu Mash Talmud Vosik Osir L'Chadesh, that even what Talmud Vosik Osir L'Chadesh was given to Moshe, it means Moshe Rabbeinu gave everything over, Allah Moshe Messinai. So to enlighten this, there's a beautiful Tosfos Yontif in the Akdama of Zroim, and he explains what, with this, some Sefer there's a whole kasha how we understand. He says, some Sefer asks the kasha. We all know, we learned the last week's parsha, and everyone knows Nasiv and Ishma. That Nasiv and Ishma was the Migilas Hoitzel Bonai, to say Nasiv before Nishma. And if you look at the pasuk of Eschanan, it says not like that. It says that the Kalisot of Moshe Rabbeinu, that you should Kol HaShidaber everything that the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to speak, Elecha, Ushemanu, Vasinu. After we'll hear, we'll do. It's a steer, it's an Nasa v'nishma. Here we say, your first Nasa v'nishma, and here it says, Ushmanu Vasinu. The first we should hear, and then we'll do. We know that the Shvach of Klal Yisrael, they don't ask questions. B'emunah, the famous Gemara with Rava, that you don't ask questions, you do it b'emunah. And here, all of a sudden, it says Ushmanu Vasinu. So he says, Amari the Gevart. And with that, it's found with many other kashas also. We know it asks the kasha, why do we need Kriyas Har-Kegigis? The Klal Yisrael said, Nasa v'nishma, why do we need Kriyas Har-Kegigis? It's the famous teretz of the Tanchuma. Tanchuma says that the Kriyas Har-Kegigis was for Torah Shabbat Peh. Torah Shabbat, they said Nasa v'nishma. So how do we understand that? So here, some Sefer says something, and with that you can understand the Tanchuma. Some Sefer says, Klal Yisrael was ready to what the Rebbeinu Shalom said, Nasa v'nishma. They were ready to do whatever. They knew the Rebbeinu Shalom won't say something that they can't do. They were ready to accept what the Rebbeinu Shalom said. What the Rabbanim and the other generations are going to do with that, Klal Yisrael, let me see. And like we find that, many people ask questions of Rabbanim. We're smarter than the Rabbanim. Rabbanim sometimes make things. Who says it's right? Who says what they're doing is right? When it comes to Drabanans, Torah Shabbat Peh is going, and all the Drabanans of later, is Shemanu Vasinu. First, let's hear. We're not going to accept it straight. We're not going to accept it dry. Shemanu Vasinu. So he says, what's Pshat that Moshe Rabbeinu heard everything? He said, the Gemara doesn't say, Yashalimei l'Moshe. Hereyu l'Moshe dikdukei Torah. He showed Moshe Rabbeinu, only Moshe Rabbeinu knew what's going to happen. He didn't give it over to the generation. Moshe Rabbeinu knew about Mikra Megillah, but there was no Messiah Torah of Mikra Megillah. All the Tkonis and Nevi'im and all the Tkonis Chazal made with the Basbacholav and all the halachas, Moshe Rabbeinu knew about all these Tkonis, but it wasn't given over. So he says, that's what the pasuk says. Asher daber Hashem Elokeinu eilecha. But the Rebbeinu is going to speak to you alone. It's not going to be to everyone. Then Shemanu Vasinu. Those things that the Rebbeinu is going to speak to you alone, which is the future generations of Gedolim and the Rabbanim, the Torah Shabbat Peh, that's Shemanu Vasinu. That's Shemanu Vasinu. Torah Shabbat Peh, they're already Nasa v'nishma. So what's happening? As also Kimu v'Kivlu now by Purim, Kimu v'Ashikivlu Kvar. So he says in Mori Gezach Tzam Sofer. He says that here Mordechai lo yichra v'lo yishtachva. And it looked like Mordechai was the cause of the whole tzaros. Why machmer? Why lo yichra yishtachva? Why it's no, he said he wasn't an Avay B'Zorah. Why lo yichra yishtachva? So al tzmaris ayin, because he's carrying something and it looks like, so Mordechai paskin lo yichra v'lo yishtachva. Or Mordechai paskin, you shouldn't go behind him, so the people other question Mordechai. Maybe he was wrong. But then when they saw Adrabah, through Mordechai came all the Nisim. Then they saw that what the Torah Shabbat Peh, what the Gedolei Ador, the Rabbanim do in every generation, Adrabah, those things that they're Mesakin, that's all, the Mekimu, they see how right they are. They see